What's shaking, internet? It's Andy Gutierrez coming to you from inside Lucasfilm headquarters. This week on Rebels, we saw how Kallus is trying to bring down the Empire from the inside, and now I'm here to bring you inside our Empire to show you how this episode was made. This is Rebels Recon. With the Empire intent on uncovering Fulcrum's identity, Ezra is intentionally captured aboard Kallus's ship to rescue him.
You got captured to warn me?
Nope, to get you out of here.
However, when Thrawn starts closing in on the identity of Fulcrum, Kallus and Ezra must work together to try to escape.
Assassin droids.
You're welcome.
Narrowly escaping, Kallus decides to stay behind and continue helping the rebels, but not before Thrawn figures out that Kallus is the rebel spy.
I believe Agent Fulcrum will prove far more useful to the Empire than Kallus ever was.
Through Imperial Eyes gave us a peek at what life is like for Agent Kallus. I sat down with cast and crew to talk about how long Thrawn has known that Kallus is a double agent, what treasures are hidden inside Thrawn's office, and how Colonel Yularen has changed since the Clone Wars. Check it out. Through Imperial Eyes gives us an inside look at the Imperial side of the conflict. What details did you have to pay particularly close attention to in working on this episode?
The idea of really focusing on the Imperial side is something, I think there's been a lot of hunger from that in terms of the viewership, because there's a lot of fans of the Empire out there to see what their day-to-day activity is. But finally give Kallus an episode.
We really wanted to bring out how skilled these higher level Imperial officers are. And they're cunning, smart people. So while they're probably slowed down by their own bureaucratic processes, they're very efficient.
Originally, I wanted to shoot almost entirely POV of Kallus through the whole episode, but we decided that that would be really tricky on our schedule to figure out and maintain. But that's where the first shot of it comes from, where he wakes up. You always run into weird things when you do a scene like that because we don't have a Kallus in sleepwear. We don't have time to make that kind of model. So if you look when you wake up, he's wearing his armor. So maybe he's just really proactive. He's always on the go. But in Clone Wars, we had to do Dooku in his pajamas. We put Ezra in some sleepwear later. It's like one of the things you never really think about.
Colonel Yularen shows up in this episode for the first time since the Clone Wars. How has his job changed since he was a Republic admiral?
The character is based on someone from episode 4. The very first time we see the guy who we now recognize as Yularen, he was an Imperial officer with the white tunic. And then so we reverse engineered him for Clone Wars to make him a fleet admiral. And now we're bringing him back to his original roots as that intelligence officer from A New Hope.
As Yularen saw the Empire's face and standing change from a Republic to an Empire, he became more involved in something less conflict-oriented and more into spy and espionage.
He was always a stickler for the rules, and I think that's really probably why he went into the ISB, which is sort of a cross between the CIA and the FBI for the Empire. You can kind of see that he definitely knows what he's doing.
Thrawn seems to handle himself quite well in a fight. Is that from standard Imperial training, or is there something more in his background?
We wanted to show that Thrawn as a threat is not just a cerebral threat. He does have a physicality to back things up as well.
He's honed himself as a weapon. As someone who is a tactician, he probably has studied all the various martial arts.
For the most part, I think he sees it as almost like a calming thing, a zen thing, and an exercise. But it also equips him well if he has to actually come to physical confrontation, which he may later in the series.
We get to see Thrawn's office, and there seem to be some Easter eggs hidden in there.
There are. The Holy Grail is in the antechamber that leads to Thrawn's office. He had a clone helmet, and for a while it was a blank one, and I just thought, well, why don't we just do something that will make some people obsess on it? So we turned it into Gree's helmet, which is the trooper that Yoda decapitated in Revenge of the Sith. We're not saying 100% it's definitely Gree's, but I've only ever seen that paint scheme on one helmet. We also have a bust of the species that Elo Asti is in Ep 7, and then the big one is the Ralph McQuarrie drawing of Lothal, or what became Lothal, which is the first time where we have directly used Ralph's art in final renders of the show.
How long has Thrawn known that Kallus was Fulcrum? Did he really just figure it out, or has he been sitting on that intel?
I think he's very careful to make accusations. I think that he would find a lot of facts before he did, especially someone as highly ranked as Kallus has been, and he wants to be sure.
He's not just interested in saying, ha, I got you. It's more like, I got you, and now I can use you in this way. So Thrawn is more about this sort of delayed gratification glorification of accomplishment, which makes him very different from a lot of the Imperials that we're used to.
How will Kallus be an asset to the rebels?
He's a double agent at this point. It's intel and information. The risk is, with someone like Thrawn, is he going to be able to succeed for us, or is that risk going to be too great? How long can he pull this off? And what sacrifice is he going to have to make to pull this off?
Chopper. Hey, buddy. Hey, come on. Hey, good to see you too. Yeah, I want to talk to you. Come on. Come on. Come on. Whoa, buddy. Whoa. Slow down. So what's the problem? What's going on? But that's R2-D2. I mean, he's the star. You just got to deal with it. He's been in a lot longer than you. Be a background element. That's all we're asking. If you're a good background element, things are going to turn around. I'm sure things are going to get better. It's all going to work out. All right, well, let's go. Come on. They need you. Come on, let's go.
Contrary to popular internet belief, the Lucasfilm Story Group's Pablo Hidalgo does more than wistfully stare at walls while clutching a mug of coffee. But once again, you're probably going to see him doing just that, furthering the internet rumor mill. C'est la vie. Hey Pablo, nice day, isn't it?
Hey, Andy.
I have a question for you. Do you have a minute?
Yeah.
Okay. Jason asks, did the Bendu communicate with Sabine during the time when she ran off in Trials of the Darksaber?
No. You know, I talked to Dave about it, and if something as important as that was supposed to happen, we would have seen it on screen, so it didn't happen.
Okay. Thanks, Pablo. Have a nice day. If you have more questions about Through Imperial Eyes, tweet them to @Star Wars using the hashtag Rebels Recon, and we'll answer what we can online. But now it's time for your sneak peek at our next brand new episode, Secret Cargo. Enjoy.
A probe? What's it doing way out here?
Speaks Imperial. That's bad.
Let's blast it before it spots us.
Ezra, get in the nose gun. But hold your fire. We don't want to attract attention if we can avoid it. I'll power down so it can't scan us. That includes you, Chopper.
Shush.
Nobody make a move.
Thanks for watching Rebels Recon. We'll be back next week with a brand new episode. If you need more info in the meantime, check out the episode guide for Through Imperial Eyes on StarWars.com on Monday. Thanks again, and I'll see you next week.